like that. Oh, that was real? It was real?
Just do what you can do then. That was good. No, that was good. You was flowing.
I started thinking too
Basically,
much.
we're going to highlight players. Keep going like that.
Welcome to our new podcast. I'm Mark Williams, and this podcast is called The U. And basically, we're going to get to know players as who they are individually so that you can see them bigger than basketball and get to know them who they are. Today, we have our first guest. She goes by Taj Cole, and she's one of the best players I've ever seen from Virginia, other than that, of course. Welcome to our podcast.
What's up, Mark?
How you doing? You all right?
Good.
So I introduced yourself already. I said your name is, I introduced you already. Your name is Taj, right? Mm-hmm. Tell them exactly who you are, your horoscope, where you were born. I already said Virginia again, but where you were born, what you do. Who are you?
My name is Taj Cole. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm an Aries. I was born April 1st. Mm-hmm. And I'm a professional basketball player, content creator, and just a positive soul trying to get back.
Okay. April 1st, huh? You must have caught a lot of
Fool's Day.
Day, right? I know they killed you on April Fool's Day back in the day. All right, so we're going to start basically. You mentioned you're a basketball player. Mm-hmm. When did you start playing basketball, and why did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was like 5. I played in a little YMCA league. My first sport was actually like football. Mm-hmm. My dad put me in football. That's where I learned my footwork, my anticipation, and it's actually my favorite sport. But being from Virginia with Allen Iverson, that's how I kind of got into basketball.
Okay. Now, when you say football, what position did you play?
Safety and running back.
Oh, did you they sweep it to you and you just ran?
Oh yeah.
You was faster than everybody
I was
else?
nice. I was the only girl.
Did they take it easy on you?
No.
They hit you for real?
They tackled me for real.
Okay. I like that. So you said Allen Iverson inspired you a little bit basketball-wise. In addition to that, who was your role model from a young lady's perspective as far as the basketball player is concerned?
Basketball players, I like Alana Beard a whole lot. I like Lindsay Whalen. Just a lot of the elite guards who are leaders just on the court and off the court.
Now, who did you pattern your game after? Because Alana Beard was a little more athletic than Lindsay Whalen.
Beard, she's lefty like me.
Yeah.
Athletic, so I kind of took things from everybody, just free game. Mm-hmm. But I watched mostly AI growing up. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he had Virginia on lock, right? Back
you know it.
What was your first big break as far as you realized that, like, yo, I'm fucking nice?
Probably on the way to my game, senior in high school, and playoff game, and we had the TVs on the van. Mm-hmm. We was lit. We got to ride in a nice van for the playoffs, and I got to see that I was a McDonald's All-American on ESPN. So
you don't get that till your senior year. You didn't realize that you were nice until your senior year?
Yeah.
That's when you like, yo.
That's when I kind of like took it in. I was like, damn, like that was one of the goals I had. So for that to come true, it's only 12 girls on the East, 12 on the West.
Right.
So I was like I'm really one of them.
Yeah, that'll do it. So let me ask you this though: when you played in those showcase events and stuff like that, who did you know then? Like, I can fuck with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to every opportunity I got, just try to prove myself. There's obviously many great players. It was ranked players. Number 1 player was there. Number 2, and I just try to show why I should always be in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Now, throughout all of this, you mentioned Iverson, Lindsay Whalen, Beard. She was good at Duke. She was really good at Duke. She was really good. Who's your ultimate why? I know you said your father got you into football and basketball. Who's your ultimate why? Who's the reason you do what you do to this day?
I would say my mom. Mm-hmm. I know that's probably a cliche answer, but it was just me and my mom growing up. Mm-hmm. My biological father, he was kind of in my life, out my life. But my mom had me at 23. Mm-hmm. Just hearing her life story when she was my age now, I watched her buy a 1997 brand new car off the lot, just an independent woman, working 2 jobs. So I really got like my hustle and my grind just from her, just watching her being able to provide, for me and her, just living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we was just riding,
Together.
Yeah.
No, I like that. And actually, I see that because I know you guys. I've seen you guys interact with one another. I can definitely see that love. Yeah. All right, so now, McDonald's All-American. You then enroll at Louisville.
Yeah.
Yep. then whatever happened there, you transferred from there, then you ended up going to Georgia.
Georgia. Mm-hmm.
How was that experience to transfer from Louisville, where you were a McDonald's All-American, high expectations, now you're going on to Georgia, whatever happened?
It was great. I was excited to go. I actually committed to Louisville when I was a junior in high school.
Early.
Real early. I was one of the first signees they had, and then later followed Asia Durr, and 3 more people that joined us. We was the #1 recruiting class in the nation, so we had big expectations, but when I got there, just things didn't click all around, where it was. Louisville is like one of the highest crime rates in the world, I remember my parents' car getting broken into, my girl at the time, her car got broken into, and then just basketball-wise, and it just wasn't a good feel. I didn't feel like, I wanted to finish and like I'll be okay with my career, at the end of my 4 years there. So transferred to Georgia, loved my visit, did 3 years there, graduated, took them to the NCAA tournament. I was starting point guard. I loved it. I loved it. And then I had 1 more year eligibility. It was when you had to sit out.
Right.
Now you can just get a waiver, and So I sat out. I matured. I got ahead on my academics. So I graduated in 3 years, and then I decided to come back home for my last year and go to Virginia Tech. And we had a great year. I think we only lost like 7 games.
Right.
But no NCAA tournament. COVID happened.
Right. Yep. But you guys actually did very well that particular year, which led you to get on a couple draft boards.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you didn't get didn't able to stay the whole year at the WNBA.
Right.
But you ended up going to the AU. How was that experience? And then tell me a little bit about the WNBA process as a whole.
The W, it was a grind because I didn't end up getting drafted. I went undrafted even though I was on the draft board.
Right.
But I just think that postseason matters so much, and for not to have it, you can't really show like who the real killers are, or who can really get down when it get down to like the best players. But I ended up getting picked up through a league called Athletes Unlimited. I tried out for the league. Basically a off-season league to keep players stateside, and I loved it. I think it had some of the best players in the world. I think it's one of the most efficient leagues in the world. You getting minus if you miss. Everything is tracked, turnovers, fouls. So just the most efficient players is in the positive. So I think those are the best players, in the world, really, if we're looking at it.
Right.
So I got 6 WNBA contract offers from Athletes Unlimited. I ended up signing with the Connecticut Suns, and I mean, how it go.
The business.
The business. So
the business.
Yeah.
All right. So now you mentioned AU as far as its tracking and all that stuff like that. They also do a couple other funky things, or new, I shouldn't say funky, but new things.
Yeah.
Players have become like coaches.
Yeah, that's the dope thing about it.
Right. So now you have to play the game, think the game, and think for everyone else. How was that experience?
It's a player-ran league. You're around people who you compete with, but also your friends. So I think your leadership really get tested. We have facilitators, which are actually WNBA assistants, but they don't coach us. They kind of just take the back seat. If we need them to draw something up, if they want to give us, kind of tips, they do. But it's just all leadership building, all chemistry. And it's crazy because your team change every week. So you don't get comfortable with a team, don't get comfortable with a group. You just really testing your leadership and your efficiency every game.
Now, to become the head coach for that week, you have to do something in order to
yeah, you got to finish in the top 4. So, like I said, I think it's the most efficient league ever, boys and girls basketball, because the top 4 people, they're making shots, they're not turning the ball over, they're making plays, they're making other people around them better, they're not fouling a whole lot, and just the whole game is just efficient. You're winning quarters, everything is tracked. We try to win the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. If you don't, you're not getting any points. So yeah, the top 4 people, the top 4 most efficient people are at the top of the leadership board.
Now, how many players are in the league?
44.
So it's just as hard to make that team as the WNBA.
Yeah.
So you have to really be on your ish.
Yeah. And I mean the player executive committee, we recruit. Well, not we, but they recruit people to come in the league. And you know, we trying to make AU a league that you know is the kids can watch and be like, I want to be just like the players in AU. So they don't just recruit the talent, you know, the best W players or the best overseas players. Like it's genuinely great people in the league that you like, damn, like I don't mind being around y'all for 5 weeks.
Right.
You know, it's great people.
Now you mentioned, I was gonna say something funny. You mentioned overseas and some of the top players coming from overseas as an off-season type of AU's like an off-season type of thing. Did you ever consider going overseas?
I did. You know, when I finished at Virginia Tech, found out no NCAA tournament, no in-person WNBA draft, go undrafted. I went to Spain. Wasn't a lot of money over there because nobody was going overseas. Everybody was just at home. It was COVID. And I was just like, man, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. So I went to Spain. I played for a club called Unicaja. Really good club. I mean, their facilities look like a college. I lived on the beach with my dog. I loved it. I love it. It's in Malaga, Spain. But I end up just feeling like, you know, like something wasn't right. Like I'm the only one over here. They got locked down. 8 p.m. Everybody in the house. I can hear like street lights flickering, dead quiet.
Really? Sirens going off?
Yeah, like, and everybody I know just at the crib because I mean the world is like in a serious crisis, you know. So I was just like, man, something telling me to go home. So I ended up calling my mom. I was just like, man, you know, I'm gonna break the contract and come home. And on the way home, I found out my grandma had stage 3 cancer. And, you know, my mom, she run like 3 different businesses. So she had to take care of her mom. So I decided, you know, I'm going to come back. And I was running the private school. I was running the AAU. And just, you know, just really taking her place. And my brothers, I got 2 baby brothers, just really just being put on a different hat. You know what I'm saying? So I really took like 8 to 12 months off of basketball just to really get back into my family. My grandma ended up passing, and then I heard about AU. Then I went to tryouts, and so I had a chip on my shoulder that whole year because I just felt like, you know, the world ended on me, didn't get drafted, and now I got another opportunity. So that meant a whole lot to me, and every game I just competed, and I finished 10th that year at AU out of 44, and I got my WNBA shot.
Who was the one that really got at you? Anybody ever really got at you?
In the league, in AU?
Period. Pee-wee basketball, middle school basketball. Who was like, it's going to be a long night going against that one right there.
Man, growing up, I would say Taya Cooper and Asia Durr and Enrique.
I mean,
those 3. Yeah, those 3. Like literally those 3 that I'm like, they'll give me problems.
Really?
You know, like I consider myself like a really good defender. Like I love picking you up and like really getting after it, but they got some shit to them. You know,
a little different.
Yeah. Growing up, it was that group. You know, but as we got older, I would just say my dog Kelsey Mitchell. You know, we talked about this earlier. Just a lefty and just gifted, bro.
Yeah, she could score the ball.
Gifted.
And especially at Ohio State, her light was neon green. Neon green.
Yeah.
All right, so now, if you had to go back and do it all over again, what would old Taj say to young Taj as far as the basketball track?
Your journey not gonna be like everybody else, and that's okay. You know, we have role models we look up to, but we don't have to do it just like them. You know, and that's why I look up to AI because he wanted to do things his way. You know, he didn't want to wear the suits like the rest of the guys. He got his hair braided, tattoos. You know, he did it his way. And at the end of my career, I want to be able to say, like, you know, I did it my way. Yeah.
No, that's a good answer. And he did do it his way. Sure. Like he had to lead change.
Yeah. No, yeah. Right. Still to this day, it's because of stuff that he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's probably the biggest cultural icon in the NBA.
That's a good point.
He control, like,
yeah,
a big part
that's
of
a good point. Yeah.
All right, so now, young ladies coming up now, if you were to tell them anything, what would it be? Like as far as, you know, motivation, what they should do on the court, off the court, all the stuff that's involved in becoming McDonald's All-American and a professional player?
I would just say separate yourself. You know, I just never was a follower from birth. I never wanted to do everything everybody else was doing. And, you know, I see a lot of that now, and I just think that, you know, I was telling one of my players the other day, I was like, real soon, like, this girl on your team, she gonna work at Wendy's, you gonna go to college, you know, she gonna be a mom, like, everybody gonna go their separate ways, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta really be firm in who you are and what your work ethic, you know, gonna be, and, you know, what you wanna be remembered as. So I would just talk to them about just that individuality and just, you know, it's hard. You know, it's not easy, especially with the business of, you know, women's basketball. A lot of girls, they scared now, you know, to even think about going to the WNBA. You would think with a resume like me, like I was supposed to be there. The guys that are in the NBA right now, that was the same McDonald's All-American as me. With Jaylen Brown, he just signed with $304 million.
A whole country worth.
We was just in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, playing together. So it's just a difference. You know, I think the young ladies now, they're afraid they're gonna get waived. They don't even think about the W. You know what I'm saying? So, but just branding yourself too. You know, making sure you're an overall good person. That matters in this business. And just, you know, playing the game. You gotta play the game a little bit. You know, with social media, you gotta play the game. You know, with the rooms that you in, the connections that you have, all of that stuff play a part in it nowadays. It's not just you can be a good women's basketball player. A lot of the success you see people have is not because they just a basketball player. They might got the face. They might know somebody. You know, I wish it was that simple, but it's not. So I'm not going to kick it to them like you just got to hoop. You know, it's far beyond that now.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with the NIL money coming in.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, man. If I had that, I would be sponsored by Nike. Like, man, what? I'm a big shoe head.
You be like Angel Reese on steroids?
What? Yes.
You score one layup and look at the camera like, Nike, what's up?
What? Yes.
Got the check.
Yes. And I applaud her, man. She herself. That's the individuality I'm talking about. You know, she don't try to change herself for nobody. She's not out here following nobody. But she's branding herself. And on top of that, she can hoop.
So she's cool with being the quote-unquote bad girl, right? And she's taking that to another level as far as, you know, revenues that she's generating and ads and sponsorships she's getting. And she can hoop. And she's performing on the court.
Allen Iverson. DMV kid. She's a DMV kid.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, now we're out of here. That's our first episode of The U. We had Taj Cole. I think she did a great job. We did a great job. Thank you, Taj.
Thanks for having me.